chair once elected. In the absence of this guidance, Robert's Rules becomes the guiding document based on Town Council Rule 18. Robert's Rules is clear that if the charter, bylaws, or other documents and rules of an assembly do not provide otherwise, an election to office is final. On page 430 of Robert's Rules, line 5, time at which an election takes effect, Robert's Rule states, an election to an office becomes final immediately if the candidate is present and does not decline, or if he is absent and has consented to his candidacy. Furthermore, in accordance with Robert's Rules, the complainant's recommended action to rescind the election and expunge the minutes cannot be performed because of the fact that it deals with an election of the vice chair. This citation is found on pages 297 and 298 of Robert's Rules of Order under the section entitled Actions That Cannot Be Rescinded or Amended, which states, the motion to rescind and to amend something previously adopted are not in order when the following circumstances, under the following circumstances. C, when a resignation has been acted upon or a person has been elected to, emphasis added, or expelled from membership or office, and the person was present or has been officially notified by the action. From the facts available, it is clear that there is no open meeting law violation and that the recommended remedies would violate both the Charter and Robert's Rules of Order. In effect, this agenda item and the proposed motion made by the complainants are out of order, and I ask the Chair to rule accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think there's anything funny here, Counselor.
It's actually sad.
That's quite a point of order, Counselor. With that said, after hearing that, I'm going to rule this, and it'll be my ruling, that agenda item number 14 is out of order. So therefore, this won't be taken up.
I'll remind you what the AGO said about public bodies. Oh, I'm out of order, Mr.
You're out of
Laza.
order, Counselor.
Yeah, you were out of order when you got elected.
Mr. Chairman.
Counselor, you're out of order.
Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
One more wisecrack and I'll have you removed.
Mr. Chairman, point of information.
Go ahead.
The intent of this whole purpose was to take up with the body the concerns that the four complainants had. This body has done so. So what this has done, this action in the ruling by the chair has opened up this motion for you to take it further and file your complaint with the Attorney General's office. That's what it does. So I think it's fair to point that out.
Thank you.
I think it's fair that other people get to respond.
Counselor, do you want the floor?
I had my hand up, and you never recognized me.
Say, Mr. Chairman, and I will recognize you.
It's hard to do that when you're banging the gavel.
You're really getting to me, you know that?
Mr. Chair.
You really are.
Great.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I would like to remind you that we are all the public body, and it is for all of us elected officials to take up this violation, not just the vice chair. That's all I got to say.
It was a point of order, and I ruled on it.
I'm sure they'll find it very interesting.
Mr. Chairman.
Moving on to agenda item number 14. Vote to accept the proposed resolution to the open meeting law violation regarding information read into the record at the town council meeting of 12/13/10.
So moved. Item 15. Second.
That's item 15, I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councillor Clements?
No.
Councillor Lazo?
No.
Councillor Livingood?
No.
Councillor Logan?
No.
Councillor McDonald?
No.
Councillor Nicola? No. Councillor Regis? No. Councillor Vandal? No. 8 no.
Motion doesn't pass. Agenda item number 16, Council's Forum. Councilor Clements.
Well, first I'd like to send thanks out to Sergeant Dingy and his group of basketball boys. I apologize for not mentioning at the last meeting. Sometimes we get a little ahead of ourselves with announcements, and I would just like to recognize Sergeant Dingy and his group of basketball players who came and helped to remove decorations a couple of weeks back. It was a great help. We had about a dozen or so junior high boys, and it was really a testament to community service, and I thank them very much for helping to do that for our town. I would also like to note that in the minutes, it reflects that we did not actually add an agenda item on voting, on taking a vote of, whatever we called it, for support, excuse me, yes, a vote of support for the new DPW director. Basically, we asked if we could take a vote and show that we didn't ask to add an agenda item, nor do we vote on adding an agenda item. We just sort of asked that we would vote on a show of support, and we kind of did. It may have been illegal, though, but we certainly did not add an agenda item. I would also like to point out that I think a few rules were broken according to the conduct and decorum during meetings paperwork that we have here. Refrain from, refrain from speaking adversely, refrain from reading from reports or notes at length. I think that was broken tonight. And other than that, I think it was a very bad violation here this evening, and I'm looking forward to hearing what the AG's office has to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Logan?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Vandal?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Livingood?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chairman,
Thank
except
you.
for just everybody be careful if we do get the snow they're saying. It's not going to be a mess, and I know the DPW does their best, but you can only put so much snow in so many places. So be careful.
Thank
That's
you,
all I have,
Councilor.
Mr. Chairman.
Point well taken. Councilor Nicola?
Nothing.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Regis?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor McDonald?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess two items of note. First and foremost, the storms that we've had recently were more than your ordinary storms, so I'd like to add my compliments to the DPW for such a fine job, especially with the amount of snow they've had to move. Secondly, I believe it was last night, the fire department responded to a fire call at the bowling alley. And having been in the fire service for myself 30 years, I can tell you that bowling alleys present a tremendous problem, and the fire department did a great job stopping what could have been a very, very bad fire situation, so my commendation to them as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. Agenda item number 17, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Monday, February 7th, 2011, 7 p.m. in the McKinnon Council Chambers.
Thank you. This meeting stands adjourned.